Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's episode, we will be doing a brief review of our Game Week 19 team and then revealing our plans for the exciting double Game Week 20. However, before we do, please remember to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. We will really appreciate it as we've got big plans for this channel and it helps the YouTube algorithm. Also, feel free to follow us on Twitter at FPL_A+. Today's FPL trivia question is as follows. Which player has achieved the highest XA or expected assists cumulatively until Game Week 19? The three options are option A, Kieran Trippier, option B, Martin Odegaard, or option C, Kevin De Bruyne. Which of these three options has the highest XA or expected assists cumulatively until Game Week 19? Please stay tuned, the answer will be revealed at the end of this video. We continue with our Game Week 19 team review. At the back in goal, Kepa Arrizabalaga had quite a solid performance. However, Chelsea unfortunately conceded and Kepa only managed a 2-point score. However, he has got another game against Fulham. That will be the final game of Game Week 19. At the back in defence, Kieran Trippier carried on his recent sterling performances with another solid clean sheet and 2 bonus points for a rock-solid 8-point score. While Cancelo was benched again by Pep as he only managed a 1-point score as a cameo. Luke Shaw carried on his recent blistering performances with a goal, a clean sheet and maximum 3 bonus points for a monster haul of 15 points. In midfield, Mo Salah disappointed and blanked for a 2-point score as Liverpool were beaten by Brentford. Marcus Rashford carried on his brilliant season with another goal and 8 points. Gabriel Martinelli was quite solid but only managed 3 points as Arsenal were held to a cagey draw by Newcastle. Andreas managed only 1 point as he unfortunately came off just before the 60th minute. Up front, Mitrovic as our captain managed a 5-point score, doubled to 10 as captain. Unfortunately though, he also got a yellow card, which meant that he got his 5th booking of the season and will sit out the remaining double match in Game Week 19. However, compared to Erling Haaland, who was also a popular captain, Mitrovic still managed to outscore Erling Haaland, who only managed 2 points and blanked against Chelsea. Darwin Núñez was also disappointing as he had lots of shots on target but unfortunately only came home with a 1-point score. Overall, our team is currently on 53 points compared to the average of 43, which with 1 match left to play has resulted in a small red arrow to around 30,418. We're still quite happy with this rank, and if either Kepa Arrizabalaga or Andreas, who are the 2 remaining players in our team, if they manage quite a solid performance and get some good points, we could likely see this rank improve or even get close to a green arrow. So on the bench we had Ward that had 2 points, Foden with 1 point, White who managed 7 points with a clean sheet, and Williams who is a non-starter. The FPLA Super League standings, currently in first place we've got yours truly. However, in second place we've got Dennis Kuswanda, who has closed the gap quite significantly. There's only a 2-point gap, and I understand that Dennis has got Mason Mount as the additional player compared to my team, and there is a very good chance that Dennis could actually sneak into first place and we could have a new leader on top of the FPLA Super League. In third place we have got Mebni Mohamed Amar. In fourth place we've got Jamie Duncan. Fifth place goes to Mohamed Usman. Joint sixth place we've got Pius Sigla and Pedro Azevedo. Eighth place we've got Sanusi Atta Tunji. In 8th place we've also got Honor Guard, and rounding up the top 10 we've got James Light. Well done to everyone that's made it into the FPLA Plus top 10. Good luck Dennis Kuswanda, I'm sure you will be the new leader out there quite soon. Those that have not made it in the top 10, keep on pushing and your time will come soon. These are the latest GW20 to GW23 fixtures after some double game weeks were announced. You'll note all the fixtures that are circled in blue, they are the double game week fixtures. Of note, firstly in GW20 we've got Crystal Palace, who have got a double against Chelsea and Manchester United. Manchester City have got a double against Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur. Manchester United have got a double against Manchester City and Crystal Palace. And then Tottenham Hotspur have got a double against Arsenal and Manchester City. So quite a few of the top teams have got doubles. I cannot probably see too many clean sheets unless you've got a team that is totally dominating and the other team is not very attacking. And then looking at game week 23, we've got Arsenal playing Brentford and Manchester City in their double, and Manchester City they are playing Aston Villa and Arsenal in game week 23. So Manchester City have got a double. So quite important to keep in mind the Arsenal and Manchester City doubles in game week 23 as well, so that you don't transfer these players out as part of your current plans, as you will need them later. And then another factor to also keep in mind that potentially ahead of game week 20 even, there might be further double game week announcements, most likely after the EFL Cup or the League Cup. There could be a possibility of Liverpool and Brighton that could have a double game week 21. So keep this in mind, as it could impact your transfer plans for game week 20 and beyond. These are the top game week 20 double game week targets. The first player that we've got is Marcus Rashford, who has been in unbelievable form recently, has got a double against Manchester City and then Crystal Palace. One tough one and one that you'd say that Manchester United should hopefully win quite easily. And then there's another tough fixture after that against Arsenal, followed by a home match against Crystal Palace. So quite good fixtures overall for Marcus Rashford. And then we've got one of the top defenders in recent weeks after Kieran Trippier. We've got Luke Shaw at 5.1 million, plays Manchester City and Crystal Palace next. You could probably see one clean sheet in there, and there could be some attacking returns as well. So definitely one of the top defenders if you are looking for a replacement, either for James or for Cancelo, and you don't have any idea who to bring in. Then bringing in the Manchester City boys, we've got Kevin De Bruyne at 12.5 million, one of the top number 10s and midfielders in world football today. Plays Manchester United and then Tottenham Hotspur, followed by Wolves and Tottenham Hotspur away. Quite decent fixtures, and if there is somebody that you expect will be marshalling the Manchester City attack, then Kevin De Bruyne is definitely one of those, and he hasn't been in his peak form recently, but you would expect him to up his game quite soon. Next we've got Riyad Mahrez, who's been a revelation for Manchester City recently, has scored lots of goals in the various competitions. He's got one of the top points per minute of players currently in the league, and at 7.5 million he comes at an absolute bargain. It appears to be that he has potentially nailed on a spot. It looks like it's his spot to lose, and you'd expect him to definitely play at least one game, if not both, in the double that is against Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur. Then on the list we've also got Harry Kane at 11.6 million. He is one of the cheaper premiums. However, in a up and down season for Tottenham Hotspur, Harry Kane has been very consistent. He's been in sublime form, and he's definitely a target for if you're looking for a player from the Tottenham Hotspur team, one of the top players in that team. He leads from the front. We have a couple of plans for game week 20 at this stage. The main reason why we have not agreed yet on a plan, as it depends on whether there are further double game weeks that are announced before game week 20, as this could impact our current as well as our future plans. Okay, so these are a couple of plans that we've currently got. On the right hand side we've got plan C, on the left hand side we've got plan B. Just comparing the two, firstly you'll note that plan B has a -4 hit and plan C has a -8 hit. If you look at which transfers are involved, plan B has got Darwin to Kane, as Kane doubles in game week 20, and then we've got Cancelo to Akanji as well. The reason for that is that Darwin is much less priced than Kane, and in order to fund that, money needs to be obtained elsewhere. So hence why Cancelo is downgraded. Also the fact that Cancelo is a bit of an enigma currently for FPL managers, as he hasn't started the last few matches, and at 7.3 million it's quite a price to pay in order to have a bench player come on for just 1 point. Akanji has started all the matches for Manchester City since game week 8 except one, which was the last match, which he came on subsequently for 45 minutes, and that was ahead of the busy cup competitions. So Akanji is potentially at this stage looking like he could be a Pep favourite while Diaz is out, and he could potentially start, if not both, at least one of the double game week matches. However, Pep is Pep, and it is always going to be a risk selecting certain players. Looking at plan C, we've got Darwin to Kane, and then we've got Brandon Williams to Diego Dallo. Brandon Williams, that spot has been quite troublesome. He was one of the lowest priced defenders in order to fit in the team for the wild card in game week 17, and unfortunately that blocks a third Manchester United player. So by doing this, we actually get rid of that troublesome spot. And then the third move for this is Cancelo to Lewis, as we don't have any further funds. This does come with some risk. The main risk is that while Cancelo could easily regain his spot, Rico Lewis has appeared to be one of Pep's up-and-coming young favourites for the team, and he's one of those players that he is just one bad performance away from a benching. However, he has been quite decent when he has played, and at 3.9 million he could potentially play one of the matches. However, Kyle Walker is also back. There is a risk that Stones could be played on the one side and Walker on the other side, and Cancelo could play the other match. So there could be a possibility that Lewis misses out both matches. However, it all depends in terms of who you've got on the bench, as Lewis's transfer is more of a funding move rather than choosing that player, as if there was more funds available, we would have most likely have selected a higher priced Manchester City defender. So for this team on the bench, we have got Mitrovic, who could slot into that position. A tough match against Newcastle. We could still reassess the benching order, whether Mitrovic or White is the better option. However, they are both relatively solid players that could give you reasonable outcomes. So if you're looking for a benching replacement, then Mitrovic and White are pretty decent. So these are the two players, the two teams that we have got. The main difference, if you look at the setup, is we've got 4 at the back in plan C, whereas plan B we've got 3 at the back. The extra defender in plan D, whereas in plan C we have got the extra forward, and we have the bench fodder non-starting defender in Brandon Williams. However, keep in mind that plan B has got a -4, whereas plan C has got a -8. Okay, then we have got another option that we have got, which is plan D, and the transfers for this are as follows: Cancelo to Lewis, Mitrovic to Kane, and Foden to Mahrez. The thinking behind this results in 0.0 in the bank, is that if there is a double game week announcement, we would like to keep Darwin and Salah, as that prevents further transfers in the next game week 21. Harry Kane, he could be one of the top transfers for game week 20. We do manage to get him in. Mitrovic, he has had a couple of niggles recently. At the same time, we're getting rid of Mitrovic. Mahrez has been a revelation for Manchester City, and it looks like it's his position to lose. Foden has been in and out of the team, so we basically, with one move, we get rid of both issues, as well as bring in a positive for Manchester City. The only negative is relying on Rico Lewis for that third spot. However, we don't have any other further funds in our bank, so this is the only position that we can, and the only player that we can fill it with. However, having a look at the bench, we do have White that could always come in to replace should Lewis not play in both matches. This is quite a solid team. This does give you quite a bit of flexibility in terms of taking the hits in game week 20 and then still having doublers in game week 21. Furthermore, in game week 21, you could consider bringing in a Brighton player, potentially for someone like White, as there is a chance that Brighton might also get a double game week in game week 21. Moving on to another transfer plan. This is currently our main plan that we are considering for transfers for game week 20. This plan is potentially more suited to if Liverpool do not have a double game week in game week 21. However, we could potentially also consider this plan if Liverpool do get a game week 21 double game week. However, the previous plans B, C and D, they are more suited to a Liverpool double game week 21, as they do maintain at least one of Mo Salah or Darwin Núñez, and in one particular plan we maintain both of them. In this plan, you will see, in order to maximize on the double game weekers and the top players for game week 20, the plan is to remove Mo Salah as well as Darwin Núñez and bring in Kevin De Bruyne and Harry Kane. Both top players, both premium players, and both having a double game week, versus Mo Salah and Darwin Núñez, who have not been their best recently with a misfiring Liverpool team. In order to fund this, we'll need to release some funds elsewhere and downgrade, and the best player to do that is João Cancelo at 7.3 million, and to downgrade him to one of two options. At this stage, we are either considering Sven Botman from Newcastle, who's only got a single game week, but the fixtures are looking quite brilliant. He plays Fulham next, then Crystal Palace, then West Ham, and Newcastle has been one of the best, if not the best, defensive team in the league this season. The other option is we could be a bit punty and potentially go for a double game weeker and go for an attacking fullback, somebody like Matt Doherty, who's got a double game week against Arsenal, Manchester City. Unlikely to keep clean sheets, but you could potentially get attacking returns. It could also mean that if you go for Doherty, he's one of those players, he'll either get you 15-20 points, or he might get you a 1 or 2 pointer. With Sven Botman, you're most likely to get a 6-point score, assuming that Newcastle keep a clean sheet and he plays the full match, as Newcastle are very tight at the back. So I would say Botman is the more conservative choice, and Doherty is the high risk, high reward choice with the double game week. This is how our game week 20 team will line up with the plan A that we mentioned previously. In goal, you'll have Kepa Arrizabalaga. In defense, we'll have Kieran Trippier, Matt Doherty, and Luke Shaw. In midfield, we'll have Kevin De Bruyne, Marcus Rashford, Gabriel Martinelli, and Phil Foden. Up front, in the forward positions, we'll have Erling Haaland, Harry Kane, and Alexander Mitrovic. On the bench, we'll have Danny Ward, we'll have Andreas, we'll have Ben White, and we'll have Williams as the non-starting defender. For the green circle players are the players that have a double game week. All the red circle players besides Botman are players that also have a double game week, but are players that are part of the transfers that we need to do to get to this team. So in total, it's possible that we could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 double game week players if we choose Doherty ahead of Sven Botman. What do you think about this team? Please comment down below. Is this a team that you would go for? How would you rate this team out of 10? At this stage, our captaincy armband is on Erling Haaland with the vice captaincy on Harry Kane. You'll also notice that at this stage we are considering triple captaining Erling Haaland. There is some thought that is still to be given to that decision, as this is potentially one of the best times to captain Erling Haaland, who can be an absolute robot and goal machine for goal scoring. He does, however, play two tough teams, or tougher teams in the league, in Manchester United, who are looking quite sharp, and Tottenham Hotspur, who are one of the main rivals in the league. So at this point, you would think that this is not the best fixtures for Erling Haaland. However, there could be better fixtures later down the line, but there could be fitness issues, there could be UEFA Champions League matches where Haaland might not play both. So there are pros and cons of whether you play your triple captainship in this game week or whether you play it later down the line. This will still be confirmed closer to the deadline time. However, at this stage, we do have the triple captaincy on Erling Haaland. Another viable captaincy option could be Harry Kane. He does tend to have good results and score goals against his North London rivals Arsenal. As well, he's got a great record against Manchester City. So if you're looking for an alternative option, Harry Kane is quite a good option as well. Marcus Rashford could also be a good puntly choice. He's been in brilliant form. And if you're looking for a dark horse, then I would say Kevin De Bruyne could also give you some good returns. That's basically it for the team. Now next we go on to the FPL trivia and reveal the answer. The question that we asked earlier was, which player has achieved the highest XA or expected assists cumulatively until game week 19? The three options were A. Kieran Trippier, B. Martin Odegaard, or C. Kevin De Bruyne. Did you get the answer to this question correctly? Please comment down below if you did get this correct or not. The answer is Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne has an expected assist of 8.99, which is top of the current FPL players in the league, which compares to Kieran Trippier at 6.4 in second place and Martin Odegaard at 5.85. That's it for this video. We hope you found this video quite useful. We're still finalizing our team depending on team news and double game week announcements. So please follow us on Twitter at FPL_A+ and follow press conferences and team news. Otherwise, until next time, all the best and good luck. Cheerio.